What's up, everybody? My name is Viola. I am the host of the Cerebreath System here on TransenDID. On my channel, we talk about DID topics, DID systems, generally my system, the Cerebreath System, others/alters, general basic health, mental health content, and we also do vlogs, gaming, various different sorts of things, and also LGBT content. Anyway, in the span of doing new things, or my brain's all over the place, I'm sorry. But in the spirit of doing new things, my bad, we're gonna do this Q&A idea that I came up with. This is not gonna be just for me. This will also be for my others later. For those who don't know, I use other instead of alter because I like how it sounds. With actual documents, though, about mental health, I will say alter because it is the technical term. Anyway, let's get into this Q&A. As the host, there will be certain things I may have to change in terms of comments, in terms of the things I answer. And, yeah, let's get into it. Number 1. What are your pronouns? My pronouns are she, her. I'll also accept they, them, but either way, I mainly like to be called she, her. Number 2, what's your sexuality? I am lesbian. I only like women. Number 3, what is your system role? I am a host. That means I control this main thing in daily life. This main thing that you call a body, I guess you could say. And I take care of like the day-to-day stuff unless things get really rough for me mentally. Number 4, where do you live in your system? This is a question for others. As far as I'm aware, when I switch, I do go into the system, but I don't really interact with it. As far as one of my others, Vivian, who I still need to talk about, has explained, I stay with her and I sleep. That's about it. Number 5, when did you realize you had DID? This was a tough one. I realized it about 1.5 to 2 years ago. I was in Wyoming and I started watching Dissociated. They were an amazing channel, and I started realizing, hey, what they're saying matches up with me pretty well. So I decided that I would get help as soon as I went back to Colorado, and I did. I got reevaluated, and they basically said, yep, you have DID. Just plain and simple. It took me 11 to 12 years to get that result of jumping to different diagnosis. I think the first diagnosis I had, they said I was bipolar with psychotic tendencies. I had that for years. They claimed I had that for years, then turned out it was wrong. Then one therapist said I just had anxiety, which manifested in anger, which didn't fit either. Like, I do have anxiety. That's one part of the puzzle, and I do have depression. But honestly, like, it didn't fit me completely. So, yeah, that's pretty much that part. Number 6. When did you appear in your inner world / become a host? I don't know how to answer this one. I believe I became a host very early, but I didn't realize it until I was in my 20s. So, that's a question I don't know how to answer, and the first one is for the others in my system. What is your favorite food? I would say everything, but I'm picky. I think my most favorite food... Oh man, I really don't know how to answer this one. I'll just say cheesecake. That's my most common answer. Ooh, or pizza. Oh, pizza sounds good right now. I'm hungry. What's your favorite drink? It used to be cherry vanilla Coke before I cut out caffeine. Right now, it's Sprite. Ooh, or Shasta root beer. Shasta's real good. I like it. That's my favorite soda. If I had to pick like a different one though, I'd probably say like Tampico fruit juice. Or V8 Splash. I have a lot of favorite drinks. Favorite music genre? I like a little bit of everything. I think my taste is centered more towards anything that has a good message. But if I had to go with like what I've always listened to and I will never stop listening to, and people are gonna hate me for this, I like country music. I grew up out east of Colorado Springs in the town of Yoder, which is a little nowhere town in the countryside, so unless my family lives in this country, so it kind of became ingrained in my brain. 10. What is your goal for the year? Well, one of my goals is to get it to 1,000 subscribers and make a living out of this, because that is definitely a goal. It'll help a lot. Start my transition. That's another big goal, but my biggest goal is to move to Alaska. That is my ultimate goal. I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna have fun with it. And, yeah. I'm gonna enjoy that. Ooh, also my road trip. I'm still in the planning stages. Alright, let's see. 11. Opinions on YouTube. This was mainly made for my others, but I'll give my opinions as well. It's fine. I guess, like, where I am now, I'm pretty happy. I am a little stressed out thinking about content all the time, because, you know, my others are still not, you know, some of them aren't really ready to show themselves on camera, and there is a lot of anxiety in doing so. We were lucky enough to have Lulu on a live stream I was a part of, because she switched in when something went really bad. Want me to tell you something? Maybe in a bit. Lulu wanted me to tell you guys she says hi, but she wanted to tell you herself. So, we'll see about that. But honestly, as I grow on YouTube, and I am growing, hi to all the new people, good to have you, I'm happy to have you on board, I do get more nervous. You know, and that's normal, to get more nervous as you get more subscribers, and I'm happy that I do, but I'm also terrified, because I'm worried the YouTube algorithm's gonna be like, yo! Because Soldier Boy, yo! And then suddenly they'll be like, what are you doing? We're gonna flag your stuff. See, it's always that anxiety. Especially with the COPPA thing. They are so weird with that whole thing. I love YouTube, and I don't want to stop doing this. But honestly, I do have some anxiety about it. Oh boy, this is one of the big ones. 12. Political views. I don't talk about politics very often anymore. I used to. But now I'm trying to avoid it, because it's just, I want this channel to be a positive place. I don't want to bring up a bunch of stuff anymore that's going to make people angry or whatever. I don't know how my others feel about that. I really don't. Maybe they feel the same, maybe they don't. It could be anyway, I guess. But personally, I am very much on the fence in general. I can see both sides of, you know, any party and kind of realize there's good and there's bad on both sides, and I generally don't pay attention to it unless it's something that is affecting me personally. And I know that seems really shitty, but most of the time it's just people fighting about something that I have no control or say in. Like, I'll be real with you, I have no say in birth control. I generally don't use any of the stuff that they're bringing up for women, so, because I don't need to. And someone did mention to me that that's a good way to use estrogen, but no. I'm sorry, no. That's not happening. But in general, like, I just avoid politics. So I'm kind of just like that very, you know, I would consider myself more left-leaning, I guess, because I'm more open to people. But I also can see in certain aspects where being right-leaning can be helpful. So I'm very much in the middle. 13. Favorite game? Ooh. Oh, man. I could take the easy route and say Skyrim. But, I don't really want to. Because that's just such like a blatant answer. Like, I play Skyrim. Favorite game of all time is Pokemon. I am a major Pokemon nerd. I have been since I was 6. I had a Pokemon birthday party. And you can also see there's a Keyblade behind me, so I like Kingdom Hearts. So I think those two, actually those three are my top games. Type of person you want to date. Well, female, obviously. You know, I'm not really picky on who I date. Like, I am picky on appearance, which is, I know it's shallow, it sounds awful, but I have to have some sort of attraction to someone, and I think anybody can agree with that. Like, if you're not attracted to somebody, then you're not going to want to date them. Like, that's just kind of a thing, and I'll be real with you, like, I'm super choosy on people, especially on dating sites. Like, you could be the prettiest person in the world and I could find you physically attractive, but if your bio is spouting a lot of nonsense, or you're hating on someone because of the color of their skin, or where they're from, or, you know, their sexuality or whatever, then I'm definitely not going to be wanting anything to do with you. And, you know, I generally try to be friends with people first. Like, I don't try to jump into a relationship, like, right then and there. I want to talk to someone for a couple weeks to a few months before I jump in. But if I had to pick a specific type, this is going to sound like everybody online, but I do like goth girls. Obviously, I kind of am one, so... I mean, if you see some of my outfits and videos, I kind of fit the bill. I don't have my hair dyed black right now, though, which makes me sad. Favorite YouTuber? That's hard because I watch a lot. Favorite YouTuber at the moment? Man, who have I been watching a lot of? Well, I could make this easy and say, you know, my other family at Mad Dr. Tolliver's lab and all that stuff. And I do love them. They're great people. I think my favorite YouTuber in general is Live Each Day. They do amazing vlogs, or they used to. They now run a channel called Just for Kids, which is interesting, and I think Anna and Pan like their videos, so there's that. But Live Each Day did some amazing Alaska vlogs, which is why I want to move there, so I can do that for myself and get my own experiences. And they're just generally good people. I follow them on Instagram. You know, they have individual accounts and everything, but I do follow them, and, you know, I'm a big fan. So, maybe someday they'll see this and be like, hey, we still have fans out there. So, hi, if you see this. Worst fear. I have a lot of fears. I think one of my worst fears at the moment, and this is gonna sound stupid, but, my worst fear is that my diagnosis is wrong. I know, it sounds dumb, but, you know, I think everybody with DID has this fear of, like, what if I don't have DID and I'm making this all up? Dissociated did say something amazing, though. They basically said, if you're scared that you're making it up and you feel like you are, you're most likely not. It's the ones who know that they're faking it, who generally, you know, are putting stuff up and being like, and a few years later they go like, oh yeah, I was faking it. I don't know how to be fake. I literally have no idea. So, and I do have a diagnosis with DID, so I guess I should just trust that and everything, and, you know, it took me this long to get this far, I guess that makes some sense. And I also did test myself a lot before doing this video, because I was like, what if I'm making it up? What if I'm actually faking this whole thing? I don't know. Like, besides that, my worst fear is needles. I've talked about that a lot. I'm scared of needles. Worst addiction and habit. Worst addiction is definitely caffeine. It is such a hard thing to kick. Worst habit. Worrying too much. I worry way too much about everything. Like I just said, with my worst fear, I worry too much about stupid stuff. I think, the main thing I worry about, though, is my channel. Like, I'm like, oh my god, what if people don't like what I put out? And then I realized I like it, so put it up there. Number 18, Coke or Pepsi? I drink both, but I like Coke a little bit more. I can't have it now because I cut caffeine. Sad face, no more cherry vanilla. Number 19. Oh, this is one for the others. It's, do they like me as a host? I'm gonna change this for mine and say, do I think I'm doing a good job as a host? No. I don't think I'm a good host, I'll be real with you. Like, I'm such a mess. Like, I'm sitting here in a hoodie and a tank top while I record. in pajama pants and just generally being like, you know, let's do a Q&A, because why not? I never do these. But sometimes I wonder if I'm really cut out to be a host. You know, I generally have to be taken care of, and I don't like it. I feel like I can't do much by myself, and that scares me. And, like, I am very self-sufficient when it comes to general life stuff, so in that way I'm a good host. But in terms of getting to know my others and, you know, learning about my disorder and generally letting them switch in, I'm not a good host at all. I'm still learning how to cope with this whole thing. So, I don't see myself as a good one. I'm sure other people will be like, oh, you're fine, but in my head it's just like, really? What are you doing? There's all these other people who know what they're doing and can switch out and be fine afterwards, and, you know, they let their others come out and do videos, and you're just here talking to a camera because you're scared that someone's going to call you fake or something, and I am scared of that. So, I'm just not a good host in general. 20, is integration your goal? Not if I can help it. I'd rather learn to live with this than lose something like this. I know that sounds weird, but it is, you know, I feel like it is my decision in general. But this also has a very interesting connotation to it that the hosts themselves can't integrate. And honestly, there's a little part of me that wants to, but there's also a part of me that is terrified of what happens after. Basically, I don't know who would take over. It might be Serenity, but I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't be doing this. I really shouldn't be. But I feel like I have to. Hey, how's it going? Just wanted to say hello. I'm Lulu. Nice to meet you. I don't come out very often, but, like, I really wanted to be in Vice videos, and I feel like I kind of forced it a little bit, but it's nice to meet all of you. I recently was part of a live stream, and I just want to say hi to all my peeps. I miss you guys, and I'm sure Vi's not going to be too happy that I kind of forced this, but, you know, she said in a minute I might be able to come out, and here I am. Those that don't know me, I'm Lulu. I'm a succubus, and, well, a succubus other, I guess that's what you could call me. I think she's talked about me before, so you probably do know me by now. She was doing a Q&A, so I didn't mean to butt in. But that last question, it kind of stressed her out a little bit. Like, that's a that's a big question, and she's been kind of feeling switchy all day. So, it's good to finally be out. I can kind of see why she didn't really want me out, though. I'm kind of changing the subject here a little bit, and I'm sorry. I'm generally more of the promiscuous type, and she was worried that I would make the wrong impression of her channel. So, she kind of told me, like, hey, you know, when we're ready, we'll bring you out, but, you know, it gets to the point where I feel a little neglected. I feel a little bit, how do you put this? I feel a little bit unneeded. You know what I mean? It gets to this sort of point where I felt like she hated me. But I guess it all kind of changed a little bit, at least my perspective. When she's like, sure, you know, go say hi to the stream. I need a break after a fight with a certain someone. But anyway, I kind of want to answer some of these questions since she kind of, she let me out of this one. Ooh. It's straight up 20 questions. I'm interested. What are my pronouns? She, her, obviously. Sexuality, I'm pan. My system rule. I'm a seeker. My whole goal as a seeker is to seek affection, and seeking affection can take on many ways. In my way, the way that I do it, as opposed to Pride, who is also a seeker, I don't know if she's mentioned that yet, his is to seek validation through things like this. Mine is to seek comfort and affection through contact. Be that, you know, promiscuous things or dating. That's my whole thing. Where do you live in your system? I live in Love Lane. I have a little home right above my bakery, the Heartful Bakery. When did you realize that you had DID? This is a question for Vi. I'm going to skip that one. When did you first appear in your inner world? I appeared to you about the time that Viola actually had DID. So, I was one of the very first. I think, what year was that? I believe she was about 7. She didn't know who I was or anything, and it did take me a while to actually, you know, get to know everything. My favorite food? Pudding. I love pudding. My favorite drink? I would say wine, but I generally only drank that one time and it didn't sit well. I'll say milkshakes. I think that counts as a drink. Favorite? Her handwriting sucks. I really need to get on her about this. She's gotta slow it down. Favorite music genre? Alright. You know, I believe that I like pop music. I know that's really cheesy and kind of Valley Girl and everything, but you can't blame a girl for liking good music, can you? Goal for the year. Get Vi to trust me. Seriously, she doesn't trust me as far as she can throw me, and it's frustrating. I just want to be out and meet you guys and say hello. It's hard. Opinions on YouTube. I don't know anything about this, so I don't really have an opinion. Based on what Vi usually says about it, though, it's pretty rough. I gotta give that girl some credit. Political views. Fuck Trump. Seriously, everything I've seen about him points to him being a douchebag. Oh, political views and, like, party and follow? I don't care. I just know that I don't like the dude. Favorite game? I guess Doom, because that's the only game I've really seen anybody play, and it was on stream. Then again, I have seen Vi play a lot of games. Ooh, no. They actually brought up Smash to me during the stream. I want to play that. I'll put that as my favorite for now. type of person you want to date? If I told you, this would get in so much trouble. Somebody sexy. I'll leave it at that. Favorite YouTuber? I don't watch a lot of them, actually. Like I said, though it doesn't let me out very often. Favorite YouTuber, though? From what I've seen... What have I seen? Azzyland, I guess? She's cute. Worst fear? Well, given my nature... Diseases. That's honestly my worst one. Worst addiction habit? My worst habit is going on chat sites. It makes my Serenity so mad at me. I've actually done things that I shouldn't. Shh. Coke or Pepsi? Really? Really, Vi? This is the question you want to ask people. Fine, Pepsi. Whatever. Do I like Vi as a host? Yeah. She's fine. Like, the thing with Vi is, she's very restrictive on people because she's terrified of what people are going to think. And it comes to a point where she kind of feels like, you know, she's afraid of everything. Like, that's one thing she'll never tell anyone, isn't she scared? She was scared to make this video. But, as a host, she's opened up a little bit more, and I can feel like I can be myself around her. Is integration our goal? For a while it was. Like I said, I was feeling neglected and very mistreated within the system. I felt like I wasn't important. It got to a point where I got scared that I would integrate, and I even asked why would it be better if I left. And she said she didn't know. We were at a point in our lives where she had just become single, she was alone, and I tried my best to comfort her in a very sort of non-helpful sort of way. And honestly, it was my own fault. I can't help myself. I flirt. I'm somebody who wants to be noticed. Viola would rather fly under the radar until it's time for people to notice her. So I'm wondering if I should change up my role to doing what Pride is doing, or if I should maybe, like, I don't know, kind of, you know, just shift it towards a relationship with someone. Because with a relationship comes all the good stuff, if you know what I mean. What else should I talk about since I'm out? I think this is usually the part where she'd end the video. But I don't know her outro very well. Maybe I'll cut the video and wait until she comes back, and then you guys can start it all up again. That might feel best. How do I turn you off? Sorry, I want to turn you around for a minute. There's the button. We'll be back after Vi returns. And I'm sorry that I switched in suddenly. You're all beautiful. Don't you forget it. And Lulu loves you. Bye. So... that, was sudden. And I apologize. I think I was on the last question, but I don't remember where I was. I'm a little out of it. Pretty sure I switched. If I did, I'm sorry. I try not to. The last question I kind of realized is a little bit more, sorry, I thought someone was behind me, it's the cat. The last question is, it's a little bit more complex than I want to admit. And I'm kind of just, I'm really out of it. I'm always like this after I switch. I get really I get kind of tired. I'm pretty sure I know who switched in. Pretty sure it was Lulu. But, I think that, God, I don't know. I don't know what to say right now. I think I'm just gonna cut the video. The integration question, I'm just gonna leave it as, no. I don't plan on integrating myself. But if it happens, it happens, and I'm sorry. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'm grateful for you stopping by. Always do. If you like what we do here, like, comment, subscribe, all that good kind of stuff. It really helps us out a lot, especially with this algorithm. It is a mess. Remember, you're beautiful, you're valid, you're important. That is very, very, very important to me and everyone up here. And I'll see you in the next video that I make. So until then, goodbye.